Hello, everybody. My name is Kanai Manika. I apologize. I have a little bit of a cold, not much, but it might affect how my voice sounds. And today, we are doing what everybody's been waiting for. That's right. Say it with me, folks. More aerial bots. That's right. We got another aerial bot. We've gone through 3 of them on the channel so far, and today we are looking at the 4th of the 5. Or the 2nd of the 5, I guess. Slingshot. Yeah, I'm excited. This is probably going to be fairly similar to the one of the previous ones we've done. I forget his name, the red arm guy, Fireflight. So I apologize if this video is a little bit repetitive or like a little bit cut down. If you do want a little bit more context on the specific molds, that this is a retool, or that retooled this, really, go look at the Fireflight video. That'll already be on the channel. So yeah, let's take a good, nice, long look at Slingshot. So, box-wise, very similar to the previous Age of the Primes boxes we've already looked at. Simple black border, which gives you your basic information. You've got a window to look at the figure himself. Nice, wonderful promo art of Slingshot in robot and vehicle mode. Right here, it gives you the information about the figure. 17-step transformation. This video is for ages 13 and up, despite what that says. And it's part 2 of 5 of the Superion Combiner, the aerial bot team. It's Transformers, Age of the Primes, aerial bot Slingshot. On this side, you get your usual Till All Are One Primes mural to give you a general idea of what Prime he's descended from or whatever. It's a Transformers Age of the Primes Deluxe class figure. On this side, you get the Superion image, since he is 2 of 5 of the overall Superion Combiner. It's Transformers Age of the Primes Aerial Bot Slingshot, as we all know. Bottom has legalese that we won't stick on too long. Top has a little bit more of the window, the Takara logo, and Autobot Slingshot once more, as well as one of these little dangly things. And on the back, you get your CGI renders of Slingshot in robot and vehicle mode, 17 steps, more than meets the eye, 2 of 5 collect to combine, aerial bot Slingshot, and legalese. But what good is a toy that's stuck in its box? You gotta get it out and play with it or whatever, man. There we go. And now we just pull that up, and we pull out everything. Still on a bit of a cardboard backing, and with like paper baggies for accessories. From what I can tell, the paper baggies are being replaced by plastic baggies next year, which is interesting. Here's the main figure out of the box, as you can see, but you also get 2 little pieces of informational paper. One of these is like legalese for like warnings and stuff that I think they need to include because of legal laws in countries. Legal laws in countries, what a sentence. And then you get your transformation pamphlet, which shows that he is, this is 17 steps. And on the back shows that you can put him on Superion's arm. We'll be following that later. But for now, here is Slingshot with everything that he comes with, kinda, which is all hidden in here. Let's pull that out. Be careful with these, make sure you don't forget anything. I've done that once in these unboxings before, which I apologize for, but yeah, let's get this all opened up and torn open. I believe he only comes with the 2 accessories. The leg bots come with a little bit more, mainly because they have like wings that you must add on after the fact. He comes with 2 pairs of these double blasters, which we can get a closer look at if it isn't too fussy. As you can see, they're made out of sort of like a rougher matte looking black material, and they have some nice sculpting. They are both the same. They are 2 of the same gun, so we're only gonna look at one. They have this little bump here, the little rectangular ridges here in the center, and then you have your 2 blaster pistols, or barrels right at the front. It looks nice. It'll go well on the hands or arms or whatever. And yeah, it works. It's your fairly standard aerial bot blaster. A lot of them have stuff like this. But yeah, now we get to take a look at the figure itself because there's like no accessories. Dude, hell, those might have even been the same molds as were on Fireflight. It's been a couple of days since I unboxed that. Go ahead and tell me in the comments if it was. But yeah, you snip them out, you move the nose cone a little bit, and these back wings as well, and you just wiggle them out. There we go. And then in converting him, first off, you gotta get the nose cone right there, have the wings flipped back on the legs, split the legs, because they come fused together in the box, and then fold out the feet, make sure the wings are like that, and here we have Slingshot. Sorry, names are weird sometimes. Ooh, that's interesting. Tighter legs than on my other one. But yeah, a bit of a wobblier waist by nature of the combining gimmick. But yeah, you can see the way that it works. I've been doing some research. Yeah, you can see the way that it works in the torso. Yeah, let's do a full look around. As you can see, he's fairly nicely detailed. He looks similar to the other one, though, so we won't spend too much time. I like the nose cone. I'm pretty sure the nose cone is different. A little bit more geometric, but it has a unique look to it, which I appreciate. Wings and stuff, and yeah. All right, now we can get a closer look. Let's go up. His head is very accurate to Slingshot, which is to say it's also very stupid. He has like a box around his head, and he's got this full orange look with a slight difference with the eye goggles, which is actually kind of nice. In the light, I'm noticing that this orange is different from this orange, which is appreciated. But yeah, big boxed head. I do like that these ones have the wheels in the back of the head. That's just kind of fun and cool, and I appreciate it. Torso is, from what I can tell, basically the same as the other one. Like there's different paint apps, and I think it's got a little bit of different sculpting, but it's got that same rectangular shape with a line down the middle because that's what the combiner part used to be. I wish this little center black line was painted a little bit better. There's a little bit of red poking through a little bit much, so maybe just an extra layer would have been nice, but yeah, I'll live. It's an aerial bot. He'll probably be living on Superion's arm for the rest of his days. Yeah, I do like the little two white bits which do poke through thanks to the combiner connection point. But yeah, I do generally like it. Arms, they have the fairly basic Transformer sculpting that we've gotten used to. It's nice. It's got a blocky aesthetic with some nice lined detailing, and I do like the hand. Some of the paint did bleed onto the rest of the arm. Overall, the arm does look nice. Obviously, there is, as you can tell, a lot of kibble. That's kind of to be expected for the aerial bots in any plane transformer, though it's a little bit less than some of the others. And besides, the nose cone's supposed to kind of poke out behind the head. Mine's got a little bit of paint slop here. I don't have the cleanest copy, but again, I'll live. Legs are fairly blocky. They have a lot of heel, as you can tell, but that does mean he does stand fairly well, having such big feet. But there's not a lot of detailing on the legs themselves. A lot of the detailing comes in for the flight mode. Articulation is going to be the same as Fireflight, so I'm going to cover it, but also look at Fireflight. That might have more detail in it. Anyhow, head is on a ball joint. Doesn't allow for a lot of up, or really any up or down, because it wants to bounce back, but it does allow for swivel. Mess around with it as you please. It's a little bit of a fussy ball joint, so you might get a little bit of expressiveness if you work with it, but yeah, shoulders are trigger-happy style, where there's a hinge here inside the body, and then the swivel is here. It's able to go a full 360 if you are at the proper angle, but it does look a little awkward. It's not the worst version of this that I've seen before, though. Biceps have your usual swivel, which is to be expected. I do like that these guys have double-jointed elbows. That's always nice, even though there is no wrist swivel, which is annoying. Waist swivel is fully there and unimpeded. Great to see, especially in comparison to the Constructicons. Hips, I do like this little divide, by the way, the sort of short divide, are universal, able to kick forward all the way, backward all the way, and outward all the way. There's a thigh swivel, which is nice to see. Single jointed knee, which goes a little bit less than 90, though it's understandable, fairly negligible. The small difference, I'll live. And then ankles, the toes are able to bend forward due to transformation, and they have an ankle tilt. Overall, he does move like your previous aerial bots do. He's fairly standard in that. The shoulders make him a little bit less fun than the leg bots, especially I think my favorite has been what's his name? I'm bad at their names. Skydive so far, and I think that still holds true. I haven't quite touched Superion, or not Superion, Silverbolt yet, so we'll see with him. But of the limb bots, I don't think this is necessarily my favorite. As much as I do like what I've seen of the initial vehicle mode. I don't know, I've got to figure out a favorite. Yeah, he's fairly good in robot mode, but since he's a transformer, I do kind of have to go into vehicle mode, unlike what I've done in past videos. Let's do that, and then I'll give my final verdict. And here is Slingshot in his vehicle mode, and it's very cute, very much a geometric sort of plane, but again, the arm bots have this nice little thing where, thanks to their funky ass shape, they've got a lot less underside kibble. Like, clearly there's a robot down here, but it is much better hidden on these because it just flows and integrates really well with the overall shape of the plane. Yes, the intakes are around here and then made more rectangular thanks to the arms, but I'll live. I do think there's remolding. Obviously the nose cone is different, and the wings, I believe, are different. They have a somewhat sharper shape than on Fireflight. Well, Fireflight was remolded from this. Though I imagine they were developed at the same time, so it's a little weird to say, but I believe this is the original mold since it came out. Well, for all of us, this is the original mold, and then that one came out later, though they were almost certainly co-developed. But yeah, the orange canopy is very nice. I really like how that looks. Same with the little nose cone. It's a little greasy, and obviously mine has a little paint scratch. I also really like the wing detailing. It's very nice. I really like these lines. They look very sharp and clean and good, and the Autobot symbols are also nicely painted, and I like this little blue curve here at the back. But yeah, the white is doing some fairly nice things for this, even though the red is a little bit nicer on this overall mold. I do think, as vehicle mode goes, this one feels a little bit more solid than the leg bots. Not necessarily, like, in terms of, like, connections or whatever. I think they all feel generally the same on that front. But it just feels a lot more like a well-rounded vehicle. And that just feels a lot better to me in some ways, vehicle-wise. It feels a little bit more balanced. And yeah, overall I do enjoy this about as much as I enjoy the other aerial bots. Overall for the aerial bots, the limb bots, the deluxe limb bots, the surprising thing is I do think that they work on their own as individual purchases. This isn't a situation where I only recommend these figures if you buy the combiner, which I'm going to have separate thoughts about that when we get to the commander piece. But legitimately, I do think these are fun figures on their own. So if you just want like an individual, like $25-ish airplane toy that turns into a robot, these work for that, legitimately. I think that these can just be purchased on their own, even if you don't want the overall Superion combiner, and you'll have a good time. We'll see how Superion himself, or Silverbolt himself, goes on that front. But yeah, I do legitimately recommend this as an individual purchase, and really all of them. They have their slight pros and cons, but I would recommend legitimately picking and choosing your favorite arm bot and leg bot, seeing how you feel about that, and then going forward. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to do all the usual YouTube stuff, like, comment, subscribe. I've covered the other deluxe limb bots up to this point on the channel before, so if you enjoy this video, you'll probably enjoy those. And do stick around, do subscribe and whatnot, because finishing off Superion shouldn't be too far away from now. Maybe like 2 weeks. Just saying, there might be a commander class on the channel here soon. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this specific video, and until the next one, I hope to see you around later. Bye-bye!